In today's video, we're taking a look at one of the most creative, one of the most unique, one of the most gorgeous, interesting, silly. It just encapsulates everything. Today, we are taking a look at the miniature game Moonstone. And judging from the intro, you can probably guess if this is a game I would recommend. Let's start with the game itself and how it plays. Very different to many other miniature games. You don't really use dice. Now, the only thing you use dice for, and I wish they had come up with a different way of doing this because then you eliminate dice entirely, except for the Moonstones themselves. You roll off with d6s to start, and then after that, once the Moonstones have been placed, which again is such a cool way of doing things, you take a handful of 7d4, hold them above the table about 12 inches, and drop them. That is where the Moonstones land. That's what you're going to be fighting over. The aim of the game is to collect more than your opponent. So there's a little bit of luck to where they lie. There's a little bit of, you need the right players to play this game. If you're playing against someone that is only there for competitive play, it's going to be very difficult because obviously they're going to bunch up and you're going to have, the number also matters on them. So the lower the number, the easier they are to dig up and steal. So again, that is something random that affects gameplay massively, but you get to weave such a unique and interesting story doing this. Like I say, once that is done, we don't see any dice. There's no more dice. Obviously, I love rolling dice, but I roll a lot of dice. In every game I play, I think I roll dice. And it's nice just to give them the night off. Everyone deserves a night off. In this, if you're making an attack, you're going to be drawing cards from a deck. If you're using magic, again, drawing a different deck. So you've got an arcane deck as well as the melee deck. In this example, we've got these two characters battling it out. I'm on Doug's side. Let me know your favorite faction in the comments below, but as soon as I saw that pug, that won me over instantly. Completely sidetracked. Let's say they're in a fight, and we're going to try and take that lance and shove it where the sun don't shine. You're going to draw whatever your melee stat is. So in this case, it would be 4 cards plus 2 because you're the attacker. Then the defender is going to draw their melee stat. In this case, he's going to get 4. You're then going to look at those cards. They're going to have different values. So depending what they play, it's going to hurt them more or less or not at all. It's very tactical, but again, there is a heap of luck involved. But luck always adds those interesting moments in war games, and it does it here as well. If you've got the same attack, so you've got 2 of the same in your hand like we have here, sweeping cut, you can make it a critical, which basically is going to be a modifier. It's just going to times it by 2 if you've got 2 of them, or 3, 4, so on. It's a really unique way, again, of doing critical hits, so that damage can stack up quickly. However, if they choose a maneuver which is going to counter yours, or maybe it stops some damage, that's where it gets really interesting. You've also got special attacks, so on the back of each character, they're going to have a special attack which combos with certain cards. So if we did play the sweeping cut, we'd be in luck here, as we could then activate our special. You can also make follow-up attacks and the fight can keep going. It's just a really interesting way that the combat bounces back. You're both attacking at the same time. You're both doing cool things. So it never feels like you've got nothing to do, even when it's not your turn. Activations go back and forth, so you always feel like you have a decision to make, or if not, you can react to something very quickly. You're not waiting 30 minutes while they play out their turn and wipe your stuff off the board. It's very reactionary, like I say, very interactive. And I think that is the most important thing. One of the most important things when it comes to miniature wargaming. The arcane deck, very similar, a very cool mechanic as well. This is more based on bluffing. So if you, for example, here we've got a blue X. Now, to activate this effect, we're going to have to play a blue card. The number is going to be how much it does. It says in the thing itself. So in this case, it would heal that many. So if we placed a blue 2 down, we would declare that to our opponent face down. Now, we have the option of lying. If they call us out and they're wrong, we're going to get to do some cool stuff. If they call us out and they're right, unfortunately, they're going to get to replace our card. So normally they'll replace it with something that wouldn't work. If they have a catastrophe in hand, you can see it's going to have extra effects and really mess you up. So there is this really cool bluffing game in any magic used. However, if they don't call us out at all, it goes through. We don't even reveal the card. We have the option of then trying it again, pushing our luck. It's just all of these different mechanics from other games, not normally war games, it's normally like board games and things like that, all pulled together in one game. It's just so much fun. There is so much to this game. There is so many small things that are added that just make it a whole package, and that's just the game itself. That's just how it plays. I haven't even spoke about any of the other stuff like miniatures, because these are some of my favorite miniatures from any war game. They've got so much character and flavor. It's not just a regular knight with a sword. It's a knight, which is actually a goblin riding a pug, of course, with a lance. And the pug is flatulent. Could have maybe Could have maybe left that part out. It's very Monty Python in its theme, in the world it's built in. It's just, again, it leads into that fun side of things. It's not taking itself too seriously. And I think sometimes that's lost in a lot of war games. Now, this is by far my favorite of the characters. This is Doug the Flatulent. I think Doug is actually the pug in this case. I am not the greatest painter, but I'm very happy with this. This is a fine paint job. It's tabletop ready, so I've got no complaints. I've really enjoyed painting these. Having the slightly bigger miniatures than usual has been very interesting. Next up, we've got Beaky Bobby. So this is some kind of goblin streaker, it looks like. He's got some dangerous things in that coat, as well as in that potion in his hand. Again, a ton of fun to paint this one up. Very unique characters, as I've already mentioned. Over on the other side then, we've got Friar Flavius. Not my favorite character. In a group of 8, I think this is still a pretty cool character. But when you've got things like Eric the Squire to choose from. I also really like Flintlock. I'm painting him up currently, so he'll be ready for the battle reports. Eric the Squire looks very much like my nephew. So I absolutely adore this miniature. I might just have to pick this team for that reason. And it's just cool. Having like a squire, you can obviously see he's got the wooden sword. He's working up to that more powerful looking steel sword in his backpack. Absolutely love, again, the flavor and the story behind these miniatures. If you take a look through their website, like I've only had the starter set for a while now, but I've been eyeing up different things. Like I've already said, let me know your favorite faction below. Maybe your favorite character so I have some inspiration. There's just so much good stuff to choose from. Speaking of miniatures and the world and all of this added together, all of this terrain on the board currently, all the tents, other than the house, was supplied by JMac Armies of Ardor here on YouTube. I will link him down below. He does some incredible commission work. He did this board for me just to fill out a 3x3. So just, again, it all looks whimsical, all looks colourful. I've got a ton more stuff so I can switch in and out. Did an incredible job, so I can't recommend him enough. Like I say, I'll put his stuff down below. And he's made the experience with Moonstone that much sweeter. Now, obviously, I haven't just built a board just to do this video. I've built a board because I love the game. And I also want to be doing some battle reports within Moonstone. Again, I think it's very interesting and unique how you do it. So I'm going to have a second player. So I will sort that out and I will get to the channel as soon as I can. So other than those really interesting ways of dealing with magic and getting up close with swords and fighting it out, they also have a ton of special abilities on their card. So whenever you're doing something, you're looking at the card itself, you're looking at your hand and what you can play, your positioning. There's so many interesting things about this game. You really do have to make every movement, every decision count, as you only get so many energy a turn. The energy is based on how much health your character has left. So if they're taking some shots and they're getting work down, they could have less and less energy. There might be some characters where, a bit like the Hulk, he gets more powerful as the battle goes on. I've not seen any. Like I said, I've only seen a limited amount of characters. I've only played a limited amount of games. But it's one I wanted to rave about. It's one I wanted to get on here and talk about. The last few months, this game, I've been painting it up. I've commissioned some stuff. I've been playing games. It's taken over. I'm yet to try the multiplayer game. I'm going to have to get a few more teams and get that going. I think that could be quite interesting as well. That'll be much easier to do because I've got a group that I meet with weekly, so we can always hash that one out. Like I say, I will need some more characters, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to go and buy some more. Very, very excited to do that and decide which ones to get. Now, through the video, I've already touched on it. Some points, I wouldn't say are downsides, but it's dependent on what type of game you are. I've already mentioned there is a lot of luck based in this. There's how the dice fall when you drop them at the start. Has a massive impact. Obviously, the numbers, maybe they're clumped up in one area and your opponent gets to start there. They're going to have a massive advantage on quickly gathering those moonstones. However, even in the rules, it says you can talk to your opponent, move these around as you see fit. And again, I think you need the right people playing this game. If you're looking for a competitive one, this maybe isn't it. The other one for me, and this is more of a personal one, it might be for you as well, solo mode doesn't really work. Obviously, you need bluffing for some of the aspects, again, countering different cards, and if you know both cards, it just isn't going to work. For me, obviously, running this channel would be perfect to be able to do that, but alas, there is no solo mode, there is no campaign mode. I don't even know if it's something they could implement. Maybe some kind of AI system to use the cards. So there's a couple of drawbacks. Again, it really depends on the type of play you are. If you're after that narrative stuff and looking for just a fun game, which I think everyone should be when you come to the table, you just want to have fun above everything else, and this is definitely the game for you. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't mention at least a few things I had noticed and are maybe some drawbacks. Let me know your thoughts on Moonstone below. Let me know how you've been enjoying the game. This, for me, is a massive hit. It's absolutely smashed it out of the park, and I cannot wait to get it back to the table. If you've made it to this point in the video, you want to see more tabletop stuff, more miniature games, you can support me on Patreon. Whenever I do a battle report or go to a tournament, characters are assigned to my Patreons, and then I give away stuff to them after a month or two, just to show my appreciation. It's always going to be a bigger gift than you. I think a subscription's a few dollars a month. It's always going to be worth more than that, so I do want to make it worthwhile for anyone supporting the channel. If not, a like and a subscribe go a massive way. And if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.